The Apple Watch Series 10 is here. It has the biggest display ever. It's also the thinnest Apple Watch ever, making it even more comfortable on your wrist, whether you're running, swimming, or sleeping. And it's the fastest charging Apple Watch, getting you 8 hours of charge in just 15 minutes. The Apple Watch Series 10. Available for the first time in glossy jet black aluminum. Compared to previous generations, iPhone XS or later required. Charge time and actual results will vary.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play. And you could say that I'm band curious because that's the way I like to describe it. I'm band curious. I get curious about bands, and my friends like to tell me about why they like bands, and we're going to find out why everybody, or why the panel here loves Samiam today. Somebody's got to lose, right, John? But today I think you're winning because, again, I said this right before we went on. I feel like this is off that initial list. So tell me about Samiam.
Yeah, the initial list of, 40 or 50 bands that I sent you probably 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Yes, Samiam is a band that, like, never... I don't think they ever really got what they deserved, I would say, because like they're a band that does a lot of things very well, but like at one point, they were the next Green Day, and like it was gonna happen, but they're not like punk enough for the hardcore punk rock people. They're not indie rock enough for like the indie rock people. They're not alt rock enough to be like a full-on like radio alt rock band, but they dabble in all of that stuff and kind of have an interesting mix of it. But like it's crazy because they came out of this like Soup and Isocracy and these like Gilman Street bands that like were contemporaries of Green Day, and they were in that scene. And they've had a really interesting career. Like they had a couple of early records, had their sound, and then, like I said, got signed to a major label and then dropped. And then they kind of like have forged this career since then of like they've never really broken up. They've cycled through different members, but they still go out and play. Like I saw them for the first time, I think in 2012 maybe, and was really blown away. Like I wasn't even that familiar. Like I knew a few songs, but I was like, man, they're so good live. And I got to see them twice last year. And was again just like, man, they just put on such a great show live, and all the songs I think sound better live, and that's I think the testament of like a true band is like, can they pull it off live? And I think Samiam is still out there doing it, and they're still playing some of these great songs that they have. Like they've got this catalog now of like all these classic songs that people love.
I don't recall how this came together. I feel like we had this got shot up the ranks because we had a conversation on like after the fact or just after the fact. But the way I have it listed on my spreadsheet is, David, you signed up next. So talk to me about Samiam and why this was a band you wanted to get in on.
Well, I had this compilation called Hardcore Breakout, and I think it was like I don't know if it was a 3-part thing or if it came out all at once or whatever, but I had Hardcore Breakout 1, 2, and 3. And it was this early 90s comp of these hardcore bands. And that's a pretty broad term, especially for the comp. And it had some of the early Samiam stuff on it spread throughout the compilation. And I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't enough to really get me digging too too far. And then one day I bought a copy of Astray just on a whim. I think it was pretty cheap at the record store. And I remember reading that Trey Cool had filled in for drums on like a track or something. And so the Green Day connection was like, okay, well, I'm checking it out. And that album, it blew my mind, and I was sold ever since. And then I've checked out most of their other albums since then, and they're great. And then preparing for the show, I checked out there's a couple of albums that I never really gave the proper time of day for whatever reason, and so now I'm fully immersed, as they would say. And yeah, great band. Just a band that, like John was saying, doesn't really get its due, except for by their fans. The fans all think they're amazing. Not really not a real middle ground kind of fandom there.
Yeah, you either love them or you don't know they exist. It seems to be
yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Like, so again, I'm not sure how it all came together. I know it shot up the ranks because we really enjoyed our Leatherface conversation. But Chris, talk to me about Samiam.
Yeah, that's how it came to be. I wasn't actually signed up for this one. I didn't notice it on the list. I would have signed up if I did. And I think we were just bullshitting after the Leatherface show, and I was like, "Let's go! I'd love to do that."
Yeah.
This like I feel like I've done a bunch of shows with you guys where I'm like, "Oh, I never saw this band. I've seen this band 100 fucking times." So this one is really exciting for me. I don't have to be like, "Yeah, I never got to see them," and then just sit out on that conversation. One of the best live bands. I know that it's hard to say what version, like you can really look at this band and say what version of it is your favorite, because they really went through different phases. Like they were experimenting with heavier music and hardcore in the beginning, and then like then you hit the Hopeless Records era after the brief Atlantic stint, and like they really nail that California melodic hardcore sound with a little bit of Midwest emo thrown in, and it's really, really well done. And I think what they found as a band with the lineup that was on Hopeless, and to a lesser extent lineup currently, because the newer record's pretty great, that their real strength as a band is songwriting. And really, I think what makes this band so great is that they write such good freaking songs. I know that sounds really puerile, but there is like standouts. Yeah. Like, there's definitely standouts in the players. Like Jason's voice is crazy, right? Like his voice is incredible, but the thing that stands out to me about this band is the songwriting and the way that it brings people together in the room when you're watching them, because everybody hears their favorite song for 12 songs in a row, right?
Yeah. I already kind of alluded to this. This is clearly, I lie in the camp of never even heard of them. Like David brought up, you either love them or you never heard of them, and I am the latter. And once again, John, you kind of nailed my thoughts like right from the jump. I feel like, going through this band, what we chose here, they seem like a band, while not necessarily should have been huge, but they should have had some run. Like I should have heard of this band. There's no, like when you listen to the songs, you listen to the type of music they play, there's no reason they would, again, I hate to localize it, but there's no reason this band shouldn't have been on 96X on pretty regular rotation. It doesn't make any sense to me that, again, I'm not trying to say they should have been huge. They should have been, Green Day big, but they should have, I don't know who to compare it to, but like they should have this band, we talked when we did Leatherface, how really that sound wasn't tailored for me, but like for some reason you mesh them all together and it works. This band's the opposite. Like all the sounds that they delve in are like right there on the Justin vein, and like they come together in this beautiful, what the fuck? Why doesn't Justin know this band? I don't get that. Like they take these alt chances that like are kind of right up my alley, and like there's these guitar tones that melt over. And, you know, again, should they have been huge? No, but I'm so happy that we're giving them some flowers, because Chris, you alluded, they're just really good songwriters, and they should, people should, a lot more people should know about this band, you know, even if it's this late into their career. We talk about it being late in their career, John, like we did have to frame this down. So when I bring that question to you, like, what are you looking at to kind of bring to the table as far as, you know, presentation as our main list? And then talk to me how you whittled that down to 20.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I had read a couple interviews where, you know, they even say like, oh, you know, some of the 2000 stuff, you know, Trips and whatever, like those are not considered their best records. And, you know, I think, you know, go back and look. So we weren't able to do everything. We had to trim some from the early stuff and the later stuff. But I think we got a good mix and got a good representation. And to get down to 20, it was like this one I maybe made more changes than I've made onto my list in a long time. There was a lot of like, okay, I would get 20 and then like go back and listen. Okay, like these 3 have to go, and now these 3 are in, and okay, kind of go back and look at that first record, and that one's out and this one's in. Like there was a lot of switching up, you know, in and out up until almost the last minute. So, not really looking for a certain kind. Like I think a comparison that I really hit on, which I'd never thought of before, was like early Foo Fighters. Like that first Foo Fighters record has a lot in common with a lot of Samiam stuff. Like they're right on the edge of where that record is. Like if you like that kind of really guitar heavy kind of mid-90s alternative rock mixed with punk mixed with indie rock, like that's kind of the wheelhouse that this is in for the most part. So it was just really, again, just like things that I thought were catchy, and like, you know, looking at choruses and, you know, what am I singing along with when I'm not listening to this, and what do I find myself going back to when I go back to it.
I immediately like that is so apt. Like the whole time I'm listening, I'm trying to think of what is this reminding me of, and like immediately you said Foo Fighters, and immediately I'm unlocked to Alone and Easy Target, like thinking in that realm. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like I don't know why I couldn't unlock that until now, but now it's unlocked, and now I can't unhear it. You're getting to be kind of grizzled here, David. Like this you're, you know, I mean, you're still early on in it, but like, is it getting any easier? Like how was putting your 20 together for this one?
This one was kind of tricky. The first 10 weren't too bad. Maybe for the first time I didn't agonize as much as I thought I would, just for the initial 10, but getting that second 10 was pretty tough. I listened, like I said in the last episode I was on, that Leatherface one. I drive a lot for work, so I've got about, 30 minutes of driving time at the very least each day. And so I had enough time to listen to every album twice a day through driving and getting home and, running errands or like going on a run or a walk. And so I was able to get through everything and finally get through that second or the last 10. So it wasn't terrible, but there were a lot of challenges, a lot of swap outs, and I actually I talked to John on Friday. I saw him at the show, and I didn't realize there was a playlist, and he was like, "Yeah, we whittled some stuff down," and I looked at the playlist this weekend, and I was like, "Ah, shit."
Nice.
It wasn't too bad, but there are like maybe 3 songs that I had to go back and be like, well, you didn't make it, so we've got to get something else going here.
Do you remember which ones they were? Give an honorable mention.
Can I guess one?
Guess one.
So this is like, I was going to take umbrage when it was my turn, We left off a song that they play at every show. I'm gonna guess one of them is El Dorado.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding.
they literally play that at every show.
That song's about Jason's DUI.
Yeah, I hereby put it back on the fucking list.
It gets ultimate honorable mention. And that's
Final say is going to be interesting now.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. I understand. Because there is stuff to weed through.
I mean, what a song though.
yeah. So good guess.
Thank you.
Well, no, go ahead, David.
Oh well, no. I'm ready to.
To
get into it as soon as if you want to talk to Chris about his selections.
Yeah. So it's funny. Like sometimes you come in, Chris, and it seems like you're completely honed in with everybody else. And some days you're like the loose cannon. I don't know with this band.
My dad should hear you say that. This one I kind of took the chalk on. I think this band is a finely tuned live machine, and they are entertainers that come out to entertain, and they are well aware of the songs people want to hear, and they play them, and they're a live band. So I went through, I listened to everything, I listened to the playlist, and I ended up with like 37, 38 songs. I then went by what I know I've seen them play a bunch, and then I was suddenly down to like 26, and then it got really easy. And I after that I tried to spread out to the albums. I didn't successfully do that very well. Because I like emo music, and I just went with the later stuff, I think, but we'll see. I think even though I went with the chalk here, I might be more of a spoiler.
And it's funny you said, spreading out the albums, and this has been happening to me a lot with a lot of bands lately. I kind of accidentally have a good spread here looking at my list. Like I didn't look at it until it's in the spreadsheet, and in the spreadsheet I can see which albums, everything's from, and I'm like, oh wow, like I'm pretty spread, like almost perfectly spread out. So that's interesting because my listening experience didn't feel that way. Like, I mean, it did feel like a lot more songs were in play than, I hate to use the words than were expected, but like, it almost feels like with a band like this, like the kind of early stuff felt like maybe it wasn't going to connect in that same way. And I'll tell you guys, there's like one of those moments that, I don't know if this still does the same thing for John, but I've got a moment where I locked into the band, and it was actually a lot earlier on than I kind of thought it was going to be. So I've got one of those moments to share when we get there. And from that moment on, it kind of became difficult. And like I said, it's pretty early on. And so like just a lot of songs were in play, and I didn't know how I wanted to direct. And then, come to be, as I'm looking at my list here, it looks like I kind of want to send everybody everywhere. So I guess we'll see how that plays out in gameplay. John, I mean, this panel, I think we did 5 last time. I think you won it last time, John.
Right.
Do you still feel like positive here, or how do you think this goes for final say?
Yeah, I'm looking at 3. I think we got 3.
Okay, yeah, it's a 4-person panel, so 3 seems to be the going rate on a 4-person panel. So, what do you think, David?
I'm going to be optimistic here. I'm going to say 6.
All right, I like that. What do you think, Chris? We've got 3 and 6 on the table. Like
I will very happily slide in here at 5.
There you go.
Thank you very much for the gift.
No, I mean, so looking at my list, I didn't get a ton of answers. I got like 8 songs, and for what it's worth, I have 5 of the 8 answers that I got. So, how does that break out, to what those people consider versus what you guys came to the table with? I feel like 5 could do it. that being said, you guys know Justin never likes that pressure. So I'm gonna one up David 6 and go with 7, because if I'm gonna get stuck with the choice,
damn baby, all right.
if I'm gonna get stuck with the choice, if I'm gonna have that kind of pressure on me, then I want us to have done really, really well. So we're gonna go with 7. All right, we're gonna take a quick pause, and when we come back, we are going to play the game. It's the program. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 4 of us have come through a selection of the Samiam discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you, in case you have never given Samiam the time of day. And I think today I'm going to start with my lock-in moment. This is interesting because I suddenly went from, okay, I think I get what's going on with this band, to holy shit, I really like this band. And there was, David was talking about, listening on a ride, and this is a great band to go for a walk with. This is a really good band to go for a walk with, because you can kind of sit in the cans with them and kind of hear everything that's going on. And that's why I was able to lock in on this song. And then I went to go look at the lyrics, and I'm like, oh, cool. Except for the lyrics that they show on Spotify were not the lyrics to the song. And
yeah, there's a couple of those with this band.
So I was like, I don't know if this is the actual song, but this is the title of the song as it's listed in the playlist. I'm going with Clean.
Oh, hell yeah. That's got to be there.
Yeah, I got it.
All right,
that's an absolute staple. Classic song.
All right, so that was a yes for John. Was that a yes for you as well, David?
No, I don't have it.
Okay, so we'll take the 3. All right. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that it's a staple, because I was like, holy fuck, I love this. Like, what the fuck? This is like it felt like I know that this band is going to evolve. Like, and this is we trimmed out some early stuff, but like this is on Soar, which on our playlist was the second record. And so like when that comes on and I start locking in, and like the song kicks in, I'm like, fuck, like I don't know how better to put it. Like, just fuck. And I was locked in from that on. So, all right, Clean takes a 3, and we like a 3, and we will move on to John.
All right, this is the first Sam I Am song that I remember hearing, and it was on. They did an EP of this song, and EP is incredible. Like, every song on there is fantastic. This song was really the song that like broke them for me, to be like, there's something else going on here that is worth digging into and listening to. Let's go with Underground.
Yes, sir.
I don't.
No, close. That was a 22 or 21 for me.
All right. I mean, 4-person panel, 2 isn't dead, but who knows? Who knows where we go from here? All right, David.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my reputation as knocking one out of the park right out of the bat, and let's see if we do it here. I'm gonna go with Dull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a fucking best song, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's. What do you say about the song? I mean,
it's
incredible.
hard to listen to. Like, it's just a song. I mean, to me, it's like sounds like forgiving someone for committing suicide. I could be mistaken.
I have no idea. It got me into the Doughboys. I was like,
yeah, there you
go.
go.
The Doughboys. I got to check these guys out. You know, like, this song rules. And
who are the Doughboys, and why are they playing on the lawn? Like, what is going on here?
Well, they're not playing anymore. But it's a great song, and man, those lyrics, they're really good at conveying this feeling, and sometimes you don't really know what that feeling is. Like, you can't put it to words, but it's like, okay, this song makes me feel the way, or this song I feel this way inside right now. This song is perfectly encapsulating it,
Mhm.
And this is one of them. So, and it's a rocker too. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
Well, I love that it's unanimous. It's also one of the answers that we got. Again, one of the very few answers we got for this band. So unanimous it is. All right, Chris.
All right, so if we're all gonna try to do windmill slams, let's go with what we apparently think is a bad record, but I think a song that probably everyone has, 80 West.
Oh,
Whoa.
I want to say
No.
22. Yeah, like
No.
22.
Wow,
21.
really? I felt like that was an obvious one. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I means a lot to me because I end up driving on 80 a lot. I have a lot of friends in the Midwest, and I guess maybe that's why. Maybe I have a skewed perspective of it.
I'll tell you again. I don't. It was one of those last cuts, like 20, somewhere in that 21 to 26 range. Of I got to get it down to 20 somehow. So,
and out of curiosity, I'm looking right now. It has 704,000 plays, which is more than like a lot of the top songs they have. So it's not just me. I just was curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a good reason.
Yeah, just
okay,
missed
fair
me.
enough.
Yeah, just missed me. All right. All right, this song came on just before we went on, and I was like, oh yeah, I fucking love that one. And I looked and, oh yeah, I have it. So how about Don't Break Me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that.
All right.
Yeah, that's a man. It kind of runs a little long in comparison to some of their songs, but at least late as far as their later stuff. But it's just such a good song.
I think it's cool also because it's kind of like the thesis for that record for Billy, right? Like it's got all the tricks that the rest of the record has, kind of all in one song. It's probably the most cohesive example of what they were attempting to do on that record, which is definitely unique in their catalog.
That middle riff, that little break part, it's totally not needed. I mean, it doesn't like have to be in the song, but it's such a fucking killer. It's a little palm muted kind of thing with a weird pinch harmonic that was probably accidental.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a killer riff.
It's definitely got like, I just heard Human Clay for the first time and please God sign us to a major.
Oh, looking at it, it's a track one, that tracks with me. But again, it kind of goes back to like what I was saying about Clean. Like, that there's progression here with this band. Like, again, I don't know what records are what and where they come in the actual order, but like this was already something different from Soar. So I was like, okay, we're already getting something different on Billy.
It was just a year later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They were churning them out pretty good.
And then they just hit the road like madmen after that.
That's like, intense. That's crazy. A year later. Wow. I clearly did not know that. All right. We got another one. John.
All right. Let's go to major label era. And this one is the one that I think, probably was the single if it had been played on the radio. If there had been a Samiam song on the radio, this probably would have been it. It's got the big chorus. It would have fit in with, if it had been a couple years later in the Get Up Kids era, I think this would have been a hit. How about She Found You?
Absolutely. I love that song.
Yep.
I don't have it. It almost made the list, but yeah, I don't have it.
Listen, you start any pop song with a baku baku drum beat, I'm in.
We'll take that too, though. I don't got it, but twos are okay here. All right. David?
Okay, let's see. Let's jump one album back and go with Stepson.
Yes, sir.
I don't.
I do. Yep.
All right. Three's good. Three's good.
Yeah, is it pronounced Sergey? Is that the guitar player? Well, one of the guitar players. He's kind of the main consistent dude. He loves those flat fifth guitar bend things for all the guitar nerds out there. I love them too, but
all right, we'll take that 3. Chris.
How's to piggyback off that? Has Sergey been in the band the whole time? Is Jason and him the only members?
I think so. Yeah,
I believe so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think they had the same 2 guitar players. Up through You're Freaking Me Out, at least, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the guitar sound doesn't really change too much there. And I will say too, of their current lineup, fucking hot band right now. They are good looking guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super fucking hot. Like Jason's like a regular dude, whatever. The rest of them are like really hot. It's weird. Let's do the You Are Freaking Me Out song we probably all have, because I need my windmill slam. Let's do Full On.
Oh yeah, got it.
No.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, I'm the only one out. So.
All right, I'm surprised by that one.
Wait a second.
Isn't that the first song? I think it is. Yeah, it's the first song. You're a first song lover.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do.
Oh, you do have it? Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I was looking at a different list.
You know, this is a great band to make a playlist for. I think this is going to be just a great playlist no matter what, because they just like are a great playlist band.
There we go. Let's let that play for a second. Guitar tones for days. Like I
love it. That single note muting over the
Get
progression.
that Atlantic Records money, and you can do a lot of things.
Yeah. When they made that album, they were like, "We don't have a single," and Atlantic was like, "No, you guys got it." And they're like, "We don't have a single. We're not Green Day." And then when they sent it off to Atlantic, they were like, "We don't hear a single," and they're like, "Yeah, we know. we told you. What the fuck?"
All right. Did I not write
It's like a Dear You syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. Big guitars, no single.
All right. So Full On was Chris. So we're back to me. All right. I'll go back a record. Man. I'm looking. All right. That's another track 1. Surprise, surprise. How about As We're Told?
Hell yes.
Yep.
I thought I did, but I don't.
All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. All right. We'll take that 3.
I don't remember cutting it.
That song, am I wrong? And I could be, but I feel like that song is like an early blueprint for like Alkaline Trio or something, like the whole vibe of it, you know? And I'm sure there's other factors at play, but
the main riff in that song sounds like it could be anything from like the middle of Alkaline Trio's catalog. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask
from
Matt.
like after they got off of Asian Man forward, you know.
All right. So As We're Told is me, John.
All right. Let's go back to Soar. And how about Sky Flying By?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I don't have that many of the old songs.
Oh.
Sorry, man.
I don't either.
It's a classic.
Again, like, you know, I use this as an excuse every time. Like, that's a song that came on when I was listening beforehand. Looked at my list, I didn't have it, and I was like, do I feel like going through the work of finding what to replace it with? And I got to be honest, I just didn't. What's crazy is I could have, because we had an extra hour and a half. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should.
I mean, that's legitimately one of their early like songs that they played all the time. Like, people love that song. It's definitely worthy of being on any list.
All right, well, we take the 2 though. 2s aren't dead yet, so you know we still got plenty of gameplay too. All right, David.
How about September Holiday?
Yeah, man.
No.
So I think this is a good time for me to admit that I fucking love Trips.
So it's actually an album that I was largely unfamiliar with. I've given it the time of day here and there, but like it was just kind of one of those that after Astray was such a home run for me that like following it with anything else, it paled in comparison. And when I was preparing for this show, I was talking to a great friend of mine, and he loves Sam I Am more than I do, and I love them a lot. But he's really a huge fan, and he was like, dude, you've got to give Trips a listen. Please don't neglect it just because of what you know. If you're doing like the whole discography, listen to that album. It's great. And I did, and yeah, he was absolutely right.
I love hearing that. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna really sink in with me more when I'm not, cramming it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything I've heard so far, and I've listened to the album, but it's great. So he's right.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Chris.
Oh man, we're all veering away from Astray to not be those guys, huh? I'll do an Astray song. Let's do Super Brava.
Nope.
Yep. Got it.
No.
No reason, but I just don't.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Not everything can make it.
Yep.
That song's fucking great though.
That's the way.
Yeah. Killer song, man.
It feels like the riff to me and the lead part feel like very Brett Gurewitz. Like if the drums were faster, it would sound like Bad Religion.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Jason's like the master of clean vocal for the verse, and then right into that chorus, just blasting it, man. And it's like it's seamless. And the early stuff, he's just yelling, and it's great. But I mean, I don't know how he must be spent after every show because he's just spanning the whole range there.
I remember I saw them play a daytime secret set, like noon, and he come out and he's like, punk rock in the daytime? What a fucking gross idea. It's the first thing he said.
I like it.
He's fucking all hungover and shitty, and he goes like, aren't you guys all supposed to be hungover? The whole crowd goes, we are. It's great.
You were at Fest last year, right, Chris?
Yeah, I've been there most years in the last 10 years.
Did you see they were one of the secret bands? They played at like 1:30 in the morning or something.
I didn't see that. I saw the noon one. Yeah. They did the Woolly at like noon. That was the one I went to.
Yeah.
At that time I was seeing Piebald.
Okay.
Piebald played Rockies, whatever Rockies is now. It's not called Rockies anymore, but they played at 1:00 in the morning.
Yeah, they were like one of the secret shows that got announced like that day, and I was like, oh man, I gotta go see him again. So yeah, like ran down there late at night, and it was awesome.
Yeah, if I couldn't get into Piebald, that's where I would have been for sure. But I did get to see them twice, which was fucking rad. But the afternoon was funny. He was just being a little bitch, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, Fest afternoons.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing. Like, you shouldn't have to do anything on Saturday morning at fucking noon.
Yeah, go to the yard sale. Get a cool record. Drink a couple beers.
Very sadly, sit outside and nurse your hangover with another beer. Exactly.
Yeah, don't get in the pool, even though you want to. And
they say no to the pill that's handed to you. Like, pocket it for a couple hours or whatever.
All right. Well, I'll trot out an Astray song. Let's see. How about Wisconsin?
Absolutely.
Don't have it.
No.
Whoa.
All right.
Dudes, come on. All right.
Hold on. Wrong one. Wisconsin gets a 2.
This is off of an album of just complete bangers. So
yeah, you could convince someone it's the greatest hits album. Like,
we're technically out of NTP, And these twos are still very much in the combo at this point. So, all right, Wisconsin gets a 2. John?
All right. Let's go back to the beginning a little bit. How about Home Sweet Home?
Yes, sir.
Yep, got it.
The man out. Nope.
I think that was the track that was on the Hardcore Breakout Volume 1 through 4. That was on number 1, and that was what sold me initially. It's better than the Motley Crue song, that's for sure.
Right.
Is there Motley Crue on that comp?
No. Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm on my
Okay, yeah, that
way.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer.
I
all
was
that
like,
shit.
I was psyched for a minute. I was like, whoa.
They really are taking liberties with the term
Yeah,
hardcore
man.
here.
Really?
All right. So John's was Home Sweet Home. It gets a 3. David?
Let's see. I'm going to jump back to Billy, and I'm going to go with Regret.
Yep, I got it.
I regret that I don't.
I do.
All right. Take that 3.
When my wife and we first started dating, I casually mentioned that I liked Samiam, and she had never heard the band. And like a week later, however long the mail system took, she presented me with a copy of Billy.
Oh, wow.
And which she had no idea if I had the record, and I actually I didn't even know the album existed, and because it was a period where the internet wasn't the treasure trove of knowledge. And she was like, "Hey, here's a Sam I Am record. You like them, right?" And I was just like, "Wow."
Awesome.
And anyway, and we're still married, so and put a ring on it,
I told you they were hot.
Yeah. All right. Chris, right?
Okay, I'll do my self-titled song. I went with The Bridge because I love that song.
No.
Don't have it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's see The Bridge. If I could tell you.
Is that only the second one in the trash?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Oh.
All right, look at me.
Was that not on my list? Because
Yeah, I don't think it was on the playlist.
okay. So that would explain it.
Oh, it was on the playlist, really?
That would
That's
be
another
why-
one.
Yeah,
That's another song they play all the time.
Yeah.
But that would be.
I mean,
why-
that's just how fucking good they are. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, and just for clarity's sake, that would be why it's not on mine. There's
There you
actually
go.
a reason. I actually didn't hear it. So
A quick cursory
It was-
look.
it was-
It's got. Go ahead.
No, it was brutal to cut songs off that self-titled because I love that record.
Yeah, it's fucking solid, and it's like it's got that like real savage fucking idiot savant nature to it too. A cursory glance, it's got almost double the plays of every other song on the record. So
Wow. The early stuff, it's
yeah.
it's almost on par with early Leatherface. It's this blisteringly fast hardcore, but way more melodic than any of their peers. And
I think they were pulling from some influences that just didn't serve them. It's what it seems
Sure,
like.
yeah.
Like there was, what was like, there definitely was a bit in their early records of like, well, we need to do something that's hot right now. Does that make sense?
mhm.
yeah.
And like, but they also like, they don't sound like every other band from the scene they came from. So like, that's
No.
also a really good thing,
But like, it's so weird that this came from Isocracy because I don't know if you've ever heard the Isocracy record, but it's just like, it's almost like a joke band.
It's
and, like,
goofy. I bought it from you,
Yeah.
Jack.
I don't know it, no.
yeah, it's like this. You would not think that the people in Isocracy would go on to do this. Like the joke was at Gilman Street that like they would just they would bring garbage bags of trash on stage and just throw them at the audience. Like it was just
All right.
ridiculous.
Sure, put a show on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Back to me. Man, I'm playing really well I've missed on some that you guys have, but everything I've put out there, somebody else has. And I have a feeling that's going to be coming to an end here soon. Let's try a Billy track. How about 10 Feet Tall?
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I jinxed myself.
You totally did.
That's only 3 in the bin then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. John?
All right. I'm going to go back to Astray. How about Sunshine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Someone had to do it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
There we go.
My old band covered that song, and I was the only guitar player in the band. So I had this reverb pedal that like you could hold out that last note of the chorus, and get back into the clean tone of the verse. It wasn't easy, and maybe it didn't sound super great. I don't know.
I didn't want to be the Mr. I'm picking all the track ones, so that's why I didn't throw that.
That song we would be objectively incorrect if it doesn't make the list.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, Justin, you didn't have Sunshine?
No, I did. I just
Okay.
I just mean I didn't want to play only track ones. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that was your moment, Justin. That was like,
Yeah, I should have just went with my
it's
gut.
that's Justin's music,
Yeah. All right, so Sunshine is in, and just for the record, John, you're gonna lose because we have 4 already. So,
We'll take it.
yeah, it's better to overshoot what you thought. So, David.
Oh, let's see here. Let's go with Let's go with the greatest chorus that the Foo Fighters never wrote, and let's get Factory.
Yeah, buddy.
I do, yeah.
No.
All right, we'll take that 3.
Very late cut.
We will take that.
What a song. What a song.
Yeah,
Ooh, and just like that,
huge rocker.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and just like that, like these twos, depending on who has final say, these twos might be dead in the water. All right, Chris.
So correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have any clumsy. We don't have any whatever's got you down on yet, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Let's do a clumsy song. Let's do Capsize.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah, of course.
Hey. Of course.
that was one of the 2 songs they played on. I think it was the Jon Stewart show
Oh, right on.
back when
Yeah,
TV
that-
was
yeah.
fucking good.
That's cool. I never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when Dinosaur Jr. played the Jenny Jones show? Like TV used to be worse, but
Sometimes
More
I
awesome.
put that on and just sit in the dark and stare at it.
the Dinosaur Jr. one.
Yeah. Because
Go back to Husker Du on Joan Rivers.
I try to pretend I'm in the audience and I don't know what I'm in for. Like,
Oh my god, they have no clue. And it's just like
here's just a bunch of like regular ass people like getting assaulted.
oh my god, it's just a beautiful moment in music
You guys
history.
like rock and roll?
Yeah, this band is called Dinosaur Jr. They're a rock band. And it's just like, all right, do you guys have earplug? Oh, no. All right, well, rest in peace.
Just like that, we're at Chris's 5.
Oh yeah, I don't think I got a prayer here. Your 7's looking good.
Oh no. All right, so was Capsized Chris or David?
That was me. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to me. Okay. Man, what do I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do like 2 more before we dump out. How about Ordinary Life?
Yep.
I got it too.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Damn.
All right.
See where that wide-eyed optimism gets you?
You know how many shows I've been on where I'm like, this one's gonna be easy. We're gonna get like 9, and this is the one time I'm fucking conservative.
Oh
Yeah, I like that line. It's just a phase you're going to grow out of when you die.
That's
fucking
good.
Great.
Come on, man.
can't believe.
This great example of your what you're saying about him like getting a little bit more savage vocal in the chorus of that song.
Oh, they're the masters of it.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're sitting right on the precipice of my 7.
Standing on the edge.
All right, John.
All right. Let's go Head Trap.
No.
No.
It didn't make the cut. It almost did.
That's on the split with Jawbreaker, so it holds a special place in my heart.
Right on.
Oh, I love that song.
All right, David.
Oh, let's see. What album have I neglected? I've done pretty okay, I guess, but I'm gonna go with my other one off of Trips that had to slide in the place of El Dorado, and that's Dead.
Yep, got it.
Nope.
Sorry, what was it?
Dead.
No.
All right.
Got the killer reverb guitar bends.
Hell yeah. I could say similarly, wasn't the replacement for El Dorado because El Dorado was in my list until 20 minutes before we started this, and I double checked the playlist.
All right. I think so that was David. Chris, you're up.
So we don't have anything from Whatever's Got You Down. How about I have 3 actually. Let's go with Take Care.
Yes, sir.
No.
No.
All right.
That was actually going to be the one I do next. All right, so we'll call this our last round, and then we'll dump out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. How about Cradle?
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh. Into the bin he goes. Okay. John?
How about Viewpoint?
Yes, sir.
I don't have it.
That is a really, really good song. I don't have it though.
All right. That 2. David?
All right, this is the last one in my top 10. No size that small.
Fuck me.
But
No.
that's no, not for me.
Yeah, no.
That one was it was a really close one. I don't know if it was necessarily first round, but I feel like it was one of those ones I hovered over about adding in, and I kind of listened to it 2 or 3 times before I was like, I don't think so. All right, Chris.
Let's do something from the new record, Crystallized.
No, I don't
No.
have it.
Nope.
I will say I didn't expect it to make it, but I will say that record is severely underrated. It's very, very good.
All right.
I need to be sold on that record. I myself and a ton of my friends were like super pumped for. I mean, from the moment they announced they're even in the same room together recording anything, and they were all very thrilled with the album, and for some reason it didn't do anything for me, and I need that to change because I know that there's something there.
Yeah, dude, it's good. I mean, I had zero expectation for it, to be honest with you. I really didn't know how. I didn't have any like thoughts about whether it'd be good or bad going into it, so I don't know if that colored for me.
All right. So I've only got 3 left.
Same,
I don't know how I feel about them, but we're gonna find out. Starting from the top, Television.
No.
No.
Okay. Someone's Got to Lose.
Nope.
No.
Guess I got to be the one that loses.
Hey.
And last but not least, and last chance to stick it to me with the final say, Homeboy.
No, I don't have it.
No.
That's also a great choice, but no.
All
A
right.
friend of my buddy was like, "You're not going to pick something like Homeboy, are you?" It's just funny. Like I have no quarrel with it. It's funny that it came up. That's all I thought about.
Hey, man, he should know that a dude who just listened to the band for the first time, it struck my ear. All right, so
Oh sure.
David, I mean, we can still get a couple here into the conversation, but your 6 is going to hold on. And for the first time ever, I think you're going to have the final say. So, John, you can make this conversation a bit difficult.
Yeah, I've got 4 left. I've got You Looking at Me,
Nope.
No.
Get Out,
Oh, it's a great one, but no.
Yeah, I agree, but no.
okay, Simca,
Nope.
Our song? No, I don't have it.
and My Convenience.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right.
My Convenience. There we go. All right. And just to put the possibility of a couple 2s here, David.
Yeah, here I'll dump out. I've got 3, 4 more. I've got Mexico.
Nope.
If You Say So.
No.
Bad Day
Nope.
and Calloused.
Nope.
All right.
Interesting end of the road here. I got 3 left. My replacement for El Dorado was Mud Hill. Obviously, no one's got that. And then I got 2 songs from Whatever's Got You Down, When We're Together and Get It Right.
All right. Let's shake that around. And
Yeah, Mud Hill's great. It was it didn't make it, but
that was my last cut, and then I realized El Dorado wasn't allowed. So,
for the record, Mud Hill was one of the answers that I got.
what do you mean by that? By the way, I've been kind of in the dark about that.
So, on every episode, like usually a couple days beforehand, I try to ask Threads, or Facebook, or sometime or Instagram, and kind of group think answers. And I only got 8 answers, but that was one of them. Mud Hill was one of them. So try to kind of ask fans.
Well, here's looking at you, person who said that. Let's go, you and me.
All right. So what did we get here? We got 6 all the way through already. Dull, Don't Break Me, Full On, Sunshine, Capsized, Ordinary Life, which, as we said, means David is going to get the final say. We have technically 3 here. Are we... All right, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threes. I imagine we're picking from the 3s. Here's our 3s. Clean, Stepson, As We're Told, Home Sweet Home, Regret, and Factory. What do you think, John?
Mm-hmm. Stepson, Clean are probably the 2 stick out. Although I gotta really like Regret too, but I mean, I don't want to kick out Underground and She Found You just yet, because I think those deserve a spot in this conversation too.
If I was going to put another You Are Freaking Me Out song, I think I'd take Factory over She Found You, as much as I love that song.
Maybe. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Just for the popularity of it, not because I think it's better. I think She Found You is a way better song.
So, I mean, I guess same question to you, Dave. Is there any of those 3s that you're looking at that are like, man, that really probably should have gone through already?
Well, gosh, I mean, Factory, Stepson, those are the 2 that stick out. Man, this is where it gets hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll get harder later too, depending on what we put through for you. Because
I'd say I agree with you. I actually agree with both of you guys. I think that all of those are really good. I do think that that Clean deserves another look because it's been a staple for so long for them. It's like one of the first like hit songs they had, and pretty much have played it every day for 30 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, so Stepson came on from both of you that I've asked so far. So I'll ask the because if we take the 3 that they've put up, then it's killing out the 2s, and John's already said like he'd like to talk about some of these 2s. But it sounds like Clean, Stepson, and Factory are the 3 we're kind of looking at to round out before David gets the final say, right? Is that
I
what
think
I'm
that'd
hearing?
be solid. Personally, I think that'd be very solid.
I think so. Yeah.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with it, but I think like Underground was like going into this. I think Underground was the one that I was like, that one's got to be on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had everything, all 4 songs that have been brought up. I actually had, so I can't sway this in any way. I mean, not that I'm very good at that anyway, but they all 4. My point being, I guess, that all 4 of those songs found the new ear. So I don't think we can really go wrong with any of those.
I hear you. I would say on Underground that like if I was to put a self-titled song like Home Sweet Home or The Bridge would be the 2 that would immediately come to me. But not to say that that's an actual argument against it, just from the spirit of making a list to get someone into the band type thing.
Right. So, I mean, in the interest of keeping it tidy, do we just take the ones that were 3s, take Clean, Stepson, and Factory, and then let David pick number 10? Is anybody opposed to that?
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I mean, I'm open to any arguments, but I think it's a solid choice.
Yeah, no, those are all great songs.
All right, so we'll do that, and then I'll run down these 9, so you can be thinking of what you want for number 10, David. We got Dull, Don't Break Me, Full On, Sunshine, Capsized, Ordinary Life, Clean, Stepson, and Regret.
Wait,
I'm sorry, it was Factory, not Regret.
Oh, wait, Dull's not on the list for real?
Dull is on the Dull was
Yeah. That's the number 1.
Oh God, okay. Oh right, you just read what's on it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hey,
And
listen to me paying attention. All right.
And I meant Factory, not Regret. I put the
that's what threw me off because you said Regret at the end. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, if you'd like, I can. Again, you don't have to pick from something that's still alive. Yeah, I kind of prefer that, but you don't have to. You can pick from anything, David.
Yeah, I don't want to be a shit disturber here. I would like to pick something that we've mostly been pretty agreed upon. But yeah, this is the brain racking part, I guess. Luckily, I've got it all written down here. Man. Part of me wants to be a real nice person and either get Underground in there or Home Sweet Home. Only because nothing from the the very, very early stuff pre Billy is on there, but then there's stuff that didn't make it past any of that.
I think it's worth it to get it in there to have it show that they did that. I honestly do. Like the idea.
I think so. You got to show where they came from, right?
Spirit of the game. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to go for Underground.
Nice.
John came and saw my band Friday, and he had no business having to like get out and do that, and he did, and so this is all politically based here.
It was all part of the plan.
Politics.
I only did it so you'd pick Underground.
I mean, it's a great one, and it almost made my list.
So you picked my song.
He gamed it.
Oh man. That's why he picked 4. He's like, I'm gonna let this guy win, and I'm gonna watch the tribulation take form.
That's right.
The machinations they put into place.
John was like, "We're only getting 3." Yeah, I'm gonna go for Underground.
All right.
It's a fine representation, and it almost made my list. And that or Home Sweet Home were going to. They're pretty neck and neck. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the way.
All right. Look, and this is not to pat my own back on gameplay here, but I think this is the first time I've noticed it. All 10 songs are on our list. I had in my 20.
Yo.
Yes.
That,
look at you.
I feel like that says something about this band and these 10 songs that we chose. If you ask me personally, I feel like this is like in the full spirit of the game. We did exactly what we set out to do. So,
wait, does that mean everyone had every song on their list except for me?
Let's see. You only didn't have Stepson and Underground.
And Stepson, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have Underground.
Oh, right. We literally just went over this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't have Factory.
Right.
Oh,
I had
okay,
the
gotcha.
others, Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm the long time just recapping the last 10 minutes of the show for everyone back home. That's really great.
Hey, we deserve it.
Yeah.
So
So
like this is surprising though. Like if you going into this, I would have thought like, oh, like Sky Flying By is a lock. Like Head Trap is a lock. Regret is a lock. Like
you,
She
you
Found You is a lock.
definitely
But
you definitely came to this from a different direction than the rest of us. I really
Yeah.
appreciated it.
yeah.
I think it makes the show better, in my opinion.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, certainly more interesting. Like it's, I this is a band that there's a lot of different ways you can go, but it seems like there were at minimum 10 songs that were like, yeah, these are the ones.
Oh, and by the way, this playlist is fucking badass. Like no
Great.
one's gonna be upset with this. Like everyone, like if you don't know this band, this is gonna sell you. Like it's
Well, let's turn the heat up a bit though, because I mean we can't let it be that easy. All right, so here's the 10: Dull, Don't Break Me, Full On, Sunshine, Capsized, Ordinary Life, Clean, Steps On, Factory, and Underground rounds it out. John, out of those 10, which one's the one?
Well, as much as I want to say Underground, I think I'm gonna cut my losses and be happy that it's there at the end. And I'll say Dull. I think Dull is probably their best song overall.
I agree. I fully
Yeah.
agree with you.
Very much agree.
All right. I mean, maybe it wasn't that hard. Let's just grab that one and call it a day. Here, hold on. Let me find it on my list here and get it going.
What a flex that would have been to choose Underground, though.
Thanks, David. Anyway, Underground is
Playing with
the
house
one.
money now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Time to go to the old dusty trail, you know?
All right, so Dull is our number one. Don't Break Me, Full On, Sunshine, Capsize, Ordinary Life, Clean, Steps On, Factory, and Underground round out our 10. Let's let Dull get a moment in the sun.
400 of my closest friends, forgotten names that I pretend to know it hasn't
Every time I hear
even
this song,
been that
it's like
long.
so fucking genius.
As soon as the chorus kicks in, it's just like crank the volume,
There's no other
hit the
song
gas
like it.
pedal.
No one's ever had the balls to write about this. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, the balls to write a song forgiving your friend for killing himself. Like that is one of the hardest things to talk about and have it not be ghoulish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it comes off as honest. It comes off as like you can relate to it, even if you've never gone through it. And he manages to touch on other emotions that came up with it. And
Yeah,
then the
life can
song's
be
good.
so dull. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
dude.
fuck yeah.
Like I see where you were coming from, and I forgive you to this fucking friend, and like makes us feel like we're part of it. And it doesn't feel voyeuristic, you know. Like other punk bands especially will write like really personal songs where like you're being led into a piece of their life, and it feels super voyeuristic. Like I don't belong here. No, this feels like you're just being led into someone's epiphany that everything is going to be all right. Like it's really freaking great. It's just incredible.
As I kind of had it cranked a little bit there, and as I was fading it back down, it struck on me another thing that I know John might be amped on this, and he might hear it. I don't know where you guys stand on this band, but like between his voice and kind of the tone of the song, I got Gin Blossoms vibes. Like,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's totally reasonable take.
yeah.
Man. That's totally reasonable take. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've done it. We've turned you on to Samiam, and look, if you've gotten this far into the conversation, look, and you're not a Samiam fan already, go listen to this list, and I guarantee you'll be sold. Like this, if for whatever reason you weren't sold on our conversation, listen to the music and let that take you the rest of the way. Because yeah, we could say lots of kind things about this band, but I don't know that the words are really going to do it justice. Just listen to the music, man. That's what you got to do, and this 10 will get you going. Hey, maybe you got $1 extra a month. That would be cool. Patreon.com/ohio. Just not get it. Times is tough, but if you got $1, I would appreciate you throwing that my way at the Patreon. $1 gets you in the door, gets you access to certain channels in our Discord. It gets you an automatic invite to our Discord as well. And it gets you the Oh Hi Justin podcast, which I do very seldomly at this point, unfortunately. It gets you access to Deprogram before the rest of the world. It gets you access to the after the fact conversation that we're about to have. It goes there like immediately. I post that, except for on a few occasions where I forgot to after the conversation, but usually it goes right up. And you'll probably hear us talk about what band we're going to do next. Who knows what the conversation, who knows what it's going to be. I'll try to make it not
Justin again.
Yeah. So we'll have all that. We're a podcast, subscribe, rate, comment, all that stuff. Sharing is of course caring. That's like a really great way to help out. If you leave a 5-star review and a comment, that would be super helpful. But the best way you can help this show is by telling somebody that you listen to it. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed, and you should too. I would appreciate that more than words could ever convey. So with that, Samiam, learn them, loving people. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.